Welcome sa breakdown at manga comparison ng Alice in Borderland Season 2 Episode 5. Nagsimula ang episode na to sa reunion ni Arisu and Agni together with the introduction of Akane after they were brought together matapos silang atakihin ang King of Spades. Everything from this point hanggang sa night battle nila with the King of Spades kung saan Arisu fell off the cliff and Agni was injured was not how it actually was sa manga kasi Arisu never really met Agni during the face card games. There was a missing character sa live action who actually played the main role sa King of Spades game sa manga and his name is Dodo. Si Dodo ay isang side character who was first introduced during the Four of Hearts game called Survey. Isa siyang normal na high school boy who lived his life exposed sa cheating. His dad cheated on his mother that drove them to death and yung best friend niya NTR'd him sa crush niya. So yes, malala ang trust issues ng batang ito which is ironic kasi out of all the games, sa Hearts pa talaga siya nasalang. Doon sa game, he met a mysterious hooded guy who turned out to be Arisu. And this encounter is where Dodo had his character development. Despite being in a game of trickery and manipulation and syempre yung trust issues niya, naniwala pa din si Dodo kay Arisu and cooperated with him to clear the game and saving Arisu in the process. After the face card game started, isa siya sa mga survivors mula sa The Purge ng King of Spades at doon niya nga nakilala si Agni who has decided to put an end to his life by fighting the King of Spades. Agni never really liked Dodo at first kasi he hated how weak and coward this boy is. But still, Dodo decided to follow him kasi yun na lang yung option niya para mag-survive. The two of them roam around sa forest while Agni is familiarizing the area to gain advantage over the King of Spades. Agni only opened up to Dodo after hearing na he also met Arisu and that's when he decided na nga to train and teach him how to fight. Over the days, unti-unti din silang naging malapit sa isa't isa as they prepare to fight the King of Spades. Sa original story, the King of Spades was actually using a GPS tracker to locate players at yun ang ginamit niya para matrack si Agni and Dodo sa gitna ng kagubatan. At nung dumating na nga ang gabi ng bakbakan nila, ang tactic ng King of Spades is sunugin yung forest. Ang initial thought process dito was to lure them out pero Agni realizes na ang tunay na goal ng King of Spades is to trap and cage them. Through a cave system na Agni discovered during his days of exploring the forest, nagawa nila makatakas sa trap ng King of Spades. Pero nasundan pa rin sila ng King of Spades and the fight broke out into a guerrilla warfare. Utilizing their advantage sa numbers, ang plano ni Agni was for Dodo to pin down and shoot the King of Spades after niyang ibaril ang huling bala niya. Pero that failed kasi Dodo was too scared as any normal high school boy would be na biglang nasabak sa gitna ng barilan, di ba? With Agni's skill and experience, nakagawa siya ng sitwasyon para mapuwersa sa isang one-on-one ang King of Spades. Naiwan siya nakikipaglaban mag-isa after he ordered Dodo to escape and survive para di na madamay pa kasi this is his own fight. With a heavy heart and disappointed sa kanyang kahinaan, Dodo escaped but then fell on a trap that Akane had set up. At eto na nga ang introduction ni Akane sa story. Si Akane ang sole survivor ng Seven of Spades game Boiling Death, which was the same game as it was shown sa live action. Except after the explosion, natusok si Akane ng bakal sa tiyan instead of her leg. Actually, the manga showed more kung paano siya nagsuffer sa game na to. She burned her hand, used a burning pipe to cauterize yung sugat niya sa stomach para tumigil sa pagdurugo. Tapos her throat was drying out and her lungs are burning because of the heat. Literal na para siyang nasa impyerno. Nag-vent din siya guys sa live action at dito, she actually used her instincts to choose the right path kung saan narating niya yung spot para sa kanyang big leap of faith. Sumugal siya dito taking the chances na masunog siya mula sa kumukulong tubig and won the bet. Pero ito yung part kung saan na-injury siya sa paa after nitong tumama sa isang bato pagbagsak niya. Ouch. Sa live action na mention na she hates her mother at sa manga pinakita yung tunay na reason kung bakit. She hated her mother so much for being a trash kasi she committed adultery sa dad niya, which then later on died on an accident. She puts the blame na she's dying like a trash kasi her mother was also a trash. Pero with her willpower, nagawa niyang i-overcome yung sarili niya with the mindset of living and fighting for a good future ahead. And then comes the final collapse kung saan she fell again and finally reached her mental and physical limits. Sa part lang na to, nagpakita sa kanya yung mother niya na siyang pinatawad niya na din after ng mga self-reflections niya sa game na to, thinking na this is her punishment on how she led her life like a trash den. Her mother's ghost is what eventually saved her, na siyang nagturo sa kanya ng right direction papuntang exit. It was cool na the manga did the part to explain this phenomenon then, which what is believed to be a miracle is a thing called the third man factor, kung saan people tend to see someone in the form of God or guardian angel when they are enveloped by their traumatic experience. At ito na nga ang kwento on how the badass Akane was reborn in the Borderlands. Going back sa story, though it was mentioned sa live action na Akane was part of the archery club, sa manga it was shown na she learned her skill with the bow and hunting sa Borderland in order to survive. And just like Akane tried to make a move kay Arisu sa live action, dito, Dodo was the one na Akane asked to fuck. And yes, she also paid the same price to that random doctor para putulin at gamutin ang paa niya. After the encounter with the King of Spades that night, Agni survived and once again cheated death with his plot armor. The next day, Dodo and Akane was then attacked by the King of Spades with a couple of handmade flashbangs na, if you remember, resembles the one Chishiya made sa live action. Somehow nakapalag naman sila sa King of Spades. And this is the part na nga where Dodo realized how the King of Spades are tracking them. Dodo, who has now gained confidence in fighting from their first fight sa King of Spades, stood up and came with a plan para siraan yung tracker ng King of Spades. Successful yung plano after Akane shot it with her arrow and they were able to escape the King of Spades after jumping on the same cliff where Arisu fell off sa live action. I'll stop muna sa part na to kasi what happens next would be for the final match na with the King of Spades, which will take place sa episode 8 ng live action, so abangan. Back to the live action, we see Anne's adventure on uncovering the secret of the Borderlands, kung saan she found out nga na wala sila sa Japan and that the Tokyo that they are in right now is in the middle of nowhere sa kabundukan. This was also the case sa manga, pero again, hindi si Anne yung nakadiscover nito, but instead it was Mahiru. There were other scenes pa sa episode na to na didn't happen sa manga and were all live action original. Yung Jack of Spades game kung saan Kuina was shown fighting on a Rumble Royale never happened. And the next game, which is the Queen of Spades, na Usagi and Arisu participated, never really happened in the manga. Arisu and Usagi was never separated after the King of Clubs game and they never met this kid. Basically, this game, checkmate, taya-tayaan with a twist kasi you need to play it by round and capture enemy pieces like chess. Each team will have a king and capture the opponent's players to become their pieces. And kung sino ang may pinaka-konting members by the end of the round will be the losers. The hard part lang dito is that they need to play the game while babysitting this kid na siyang king nila and fight their own teammates simping over sa Queen of Spades. Arisu, being a Sigma, rejects the Queen of Spades na patay sa kanya kasi syempre yaman niya. Eventually, Arisu was able to convert yung mga teammates niyang nag-simp after awakening their inner Sigma mentality and defeated the Queen of Spades. I'll say this checkmate game was actually good in terms of the rules and twists. Swak na swak siya para sa intensity ng isang spade face card game. Also, yung Queen of Spades is so hara-hara. I want to be step on by her. And that's it for this episode. Stay tuned para sa episode 6 kung saan dadaanan natin ang tunay na identity ng King of Diamonds at kung anong nangyari sa game niya with Chishiya. Hit that subscribe button para magpakita sa inyo mamayang gabi ang Queen of Spades. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ciao!